And with the Icicle Twink, yay! Been a long time coming since I've wanted to redesign him since he dropped in, holy shit, February of 2022. Dang, it has been a while. But before we get into his design, I really want to talk about the episode. A few people have pointed out it should have been a two-parter or like a to-be-continued episode with IMP starting off doing a job, which we technically haven't seen them do for a really long time, and then have it lead into Stolas getting kidnapped, which honestly works so well. It really should have been what happened, as the episode was extremely fast, and all the dark or suspenseful moments didn't leave the impression it should have. Like, the whole killing Stolas storyline in general feels lackluster, as the IMP team just forgets Stryker is even out there, or the fact that Blitzo never even told Stolas what happened at the festival, leaving him with no idea what's coming. And even though I like the idea of Stella just outright admitting she's behind it, I still don't get what Androphis means by Stella gets nothing, cause 1, Via is 17 and hasn't mastered the spellbook at all, or seems to be training all that hard, so Stella would still be a part of her life, or at the very least Androphis would be brought in to help, leaving them the ability to mold Octavia into a puppet, or possibly finding a way to marry her off to a higher ranked Goetia, cause at this point we don't really know what the rules are for Goetia royalty. Like, Stella and Stolas are still technically married, so if he dies, she should get something. Plus, we still don't know what the consequences are for Stolas. We've been told multiple times something bad would happen due to his behavior, but he's been very public with Blitzo, and though embarrassed and called out, still didn't really care to hide his relationship. Like, what are the consequences? What are the rules? I really wish they would hint at what could possibly happen. Also, again, sorry, why does it matter to Androphis that Stolas stay alive when he can easily get Octavia to give him things without realizing what she's doing? Like, in biblical lore, Androphis and Stolas share the same job type, aka the stars. Like, it's fine, Stella wants him dead, she did her part, and at the end of it is still rich. I think what would have worked a little bit better is when Stolas looks at Stella thinking she called the hit, she just shrugs and feigns innocence to it, to which Androphis asks if that was her. She says yes, to which he's excited to hear and tells her it's the perfect opportunity to elevate their family, thinking that's what Stella was doing since he can't go any higher due to his title forcing him to stay a Marquise, and marrying up is impossible. But Stella tells him that's not it, she just wants him dead for embarrassing her. Androphis is furious by this, that she hasn't thought of all the angles this could work for them, as Via hasn't progressed at all in her studies and could easily be their ticket into taking over the Stolas title, to which we could finally see how Stella feels about Octavia by her facial expressions on how Androphis is talking about her daughter, and thinking whether this is still a good idea. And as for the side plot, it would be more Millie and Moxie tracking Stolas down, while Stryker is torturing Stolas yet doesn't reveal Stella is behind it, as she's asked him to tell Stolas when he delivers the finishing blow, which Moxie and Millie interrupt. Side note, let me know if you guys would be into me talking about how I'd rewrite season 2, cause at this point I have like so many ideas. But anyway, on to Androphis' design. So yeah, when he dropped, I was immediately like, that's just Stolas but in blue. Not to mention he doesn't even look like a peacock, and his outfit makes me feel bad for his tail as he's sitting on it. But like always, I like to wait and see the character move and talk and see what their overall tone is before I redesign them, as it helps me figure out what I want to do. So finally, when the episode did drop and we did get to see him in his 2 scenes, I wasn't too surprised by his attitude and mannerisms, though I do seriously hate he's just Stolas in a different color. Like, why are so many main characters so thin? Like, in the background we have so many different bodies, but the main cast is teeny tiny. Like yeah, Ozzy's the only one with a massive chest, yet he still feels small. Like, Androphis is a peacock, which is a pretty big bird, so why did they make him so skinny? Plus, his neck is so short. Like, why? Peacocks are kind of like swans. They have a semi-long, fat neck and chest. Anyway, though, he was still fun to watch, though I can honestly say I hate this design. I love the colors, as that's not the issue I have. It's pretty much the overall shape and outfit. Like so many people have pointed out he looks like Elsa, and I'm just like, how though? Only to be shown the concept art for Elsa, and I'm like, now I see it. Which just makes me think, did they just seriously base him off concept art Elsa? Like, why? Winter has nothing to do with Androphis at all. Like the white and blue are fine due to half albino peacocks existing, but him having winter powers feels off, along with the crown. Like, he's a marquise, not a prince. So he really shouldn't be wearing it, considering where he is on the list. Also, the blue outline is so off-putting and made me feel like he wasn't really part of the world he's in. Like, they've done this for Angel, and it's not as noticeable or off-putting, but for Andrilphus, it's just too much. Plus, his eyes are outlined in black, which is just even more off-putting and confusing. Even though I love the VA choice and colors, I still can't enjoy this character. Like, everyone else I've redesigned in the past, I could tolerate or had, like, very little feelings toward, but this, oh, I'm sorry, I just can't. And, like, blue's my favorite color, too, so I want to like it, but I just can't. Ugh. So let's just move on to the redesign, okay? Okay, I've been watching a lot of Bridgerton, so yeah, bear with me on the outfit, but okay, so Andrilphus's biblical lore isn't as deep or interesting as one might think. Like, he's literally just a peacock who's good at math. Like, I'm dumbing down the info, obviously, but it seriously says he's good at teaching geometry and astrology, which is something Stolas is good at, the star part, not the math. Andrilphus is often depicted as a charismatic and seductive figure with the power to manipulate and corrupt the desires of mortals, which is pretty much what all demons do. So obviously there's not a lot I can do with that little bit of info. I mean, basically Andrilphus is just a regular demon. His one difference or thing is his math skills. Like, some occultists believe demons such as Andrilphus can be summoned to help humans do their will. Andrilphus is capable of assisting a magician in various tasks, such as retrieving stolen goods, punishing thieves and wicked people, discovering unjust and wicked deals, and finding hidden treasures. So basically, he's a math tutorer who also side hustles as a weird detective vigilante, like, okay? Like, okay, he's also pretty helpful in helping people seek revenge, which I think works pretty well for his overall character, as he seems very calculated and vengeful. Though that's really about it. Trust me, I dug around as best I could. He either wasn't popular enough that people were trying to summon him, or he's so low on the list no one really cares. I mean, who's really gonna summon someone to teach them math, right? I mean, nowadays, obviously, yeah, but like back in biblical time, no one cared. Plus, I mean, there's only 15 total marquees, and Andrilphus is the 13th one. So yeah, probably not the most popular summoned Goetia, or worshipped Goetia for that matter. Anyway, similar to my Stolas video, Andrilphus is a replacement heir, though is much older than Stolas, as his family's generation doesn't die as young as Stolas' family, which works well for the idea that Stella is his half-sister, born around the time Stolas was born, so their ages match up, and explains why they don't look so much alike, since I did make Stella kind of like a swan-peacock hybrid, but also for the fact that peacocks don't mate for life, and with how low their family is, it would be a good idea to have as many girls as possible to marry off to higher ranked Goetia, with also the benefit of dowries, which now this current Andrilphus would have to do, as his skills aren't needed, and another demon studies the same stuff he does, yet is a prince, so yeah. When redesigning Andrilphus, I decided to make him a half albino peacock. Later in the video, I kind of took away the color on his neck and hands, as I'm still struggling on what to do. I think what I settled with is something I can learn to love. But I did keep the one spot on his face and styled it the typical peacock style, along with giving him the little crown feathers, which I was highly annoyed OG Andrilphus didn't have. Like, come on, if we didn't see his tail, how would anyone know he's a peacock? Like, the colors don't give it away. Those weird little stripes on the side of his hair don't give it away. He looks nothing like a peacock, and it bothers me so much. I also made his eyes red to be an opposite to Stella's. Though they are half-siblings, I like to think their relationship is stronger due to Stella being the last of his sisters, and him actually having to, like, watch over her a little bit more. I also reworked his beak to look more like a peacock instead of the owl style they keep giving everyone, main character wise, because if you look in the background, a lot of the other Goetia royalty have different beak shapes, yet for some reason, Stella, Andrilphus, and Stolas all have the same beak style, even though they are not all the same bird. As for a hairstyle, I wasn't sure what to do, as so many birds have this swept back look, and I really didn't want him and Stolas to look too much alike. So I went with this messy, slick back look and added hair stripes. As for his outfit, again, I've been watching Bridgerton, so I referenced his outfit from there, but it weirdly works as he's a Marquise, so he can technically dress up, just not be dripping in gold or royal attire, so I put him in a court coat silhouette. Since unfortunately a traditional French court coat is less fitted and has embroidered lace trim, obviously I can't do that because, one, I just didn't want to, and kinda because I took away the ice theming I had going on, as I really like the idea that their family has like no actual power and are forced to live in the frozen palace. Since peacocks are tropical birds, it seems more like a punishment. But to make up for the lack of embroidery, I did end up keeping the fluffy fur collar of his OG outfit. I just lessened it a bit and took it off of his chest because he really looks like one of those fuzzy gel pens, and it's all I can think about. Added fur to his cuffs and thigh boots. Later at the end of the video, you'll see they have like a star snow effect. I kind of wanted to do it in the way Stolas's date night cape did. Anyway, I'm still not like 100% happy with the cuffs, so I might go back and edit it because I was really trying to stick to the shape of a court coat, but it's not working. I also gave him a carvette. I 100% know I said that wrong, but I'm trying. I kept seeing it on Bridgerton, and I was like, yep, that's going on Andrelphus, which I think works pretty well with making his cheek and neck look bigger, which I did bulk him up a bit, not sure if y'all can tell. But again, big bird, big body. Anyway, the charms I drew on his fur collar were originally going to be just stars or snowflakes, but I found this. It's called Sacred Geometry. I didn't really look any deeper than that, so if you want to learn more about it, I suggest researching it on your own. But the patterns are so pretty and look like little small galaxies. Well, some do, but I found one I thought was cool, but found it to be kind of complicated, so I just made one based around it. And I think it's okay. Honestly, I'd probably use these symbols for the background and stick with a simple white star when I edit some scenes, but it was a cool find. Anyway, I put him in a simple 4-button vest and a cummerbund. I decided to give him Stolas's old style since I redrew Stolas and went in a more galaxy raven direction for him. As for his tailcoat, I did sharpen it since court coats were a straight line hem, which really didn't look good when I first started out sketching. So yeah, but on the plus side, the deeper slit leaves more room for his tail, which I have freed from that tight-ass dress. Though I'm really gonna need to figure out the pattern on the other side of his tail. Like, I got nervous with the design and decided to work on it later. Peacock tail feathers are hard when you're not doing the eye theme or winter theme, so look forward to that in the community post. And finally, the color. I was going to go in a full blue direction, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, we need dark blues and mint greens. You know, something hinting at space or specifically the northern lights, but also because peacocks are primarily blue and green. And I think it works since this Andrelphus is half albino. His feather color is lacking. We all know that male birds are usually the most beautiful to look at, and with Andrelphus's lack of color, I can imagine a lot of females aren't too enamored with him, especially since his father is a traditional peacock. I can even imagine Andrelphus being mistaken as a woman, so to compensate for his lack of color, he dresses in more traditional peacock colors, though the green is brighter to complement his white feathers. Anyway, I personally think Andrelphus could be a really fun character and slowly become a very dark villain since Striker has been demoted, but time will tell, and we will talk about Striker soonish. But this was fun. I always enjoy drawing bird characters. I think I'm finally getting a little bit better at it. Because originally I was always too scared to do it because of their legs, but now I'm like, I think I can figure this out. Anyway, I really can't wait to edit some of my favorite scenes with this design. As for the next video, it'll probably be a Q&A and then Verosika, as I drew all 3 versions of Verosika. So that's going to take me a bit to draw and edit, but I'm excited to show you guys my ideas of her. Anyway, let me know what you all think in the comments, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Really helps out the channel and me. I hope you all have a super fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!